Today you're going to create a turtle seascape for your Art to Remember project. Write your name and class code, which will have a 3 for 3rd grade, and your teacher's name, and circle it. Flip over your paper. This is what our seascape is going to look like with this cute turtle. Now let's get started drawing. We're going to draw a dot on our paper and then draw the head of the turtle. So draw a dot, and then you're going to draw a long U shape and then connect that U on the top with another upside down U curve. Draw a circle with a black pupil for the eye in the middle, a little oval for the nose, and a little curve for the smile. Draw a large curve just like the top of the head and a large curve just like the bottom of the head for the turtle shell. Draw a little border around the neck and some dimension and texture for the outside border of the shell. I'm going to add some more texture by drawing some lines on the outside of the shell. Now we're going to add the turtle's feet. We're going to do a large curve and some swirly lines in. And this is going to make the turtle look like he's swimming in the ocean. Curve and some swirly lines. And then we'll do 2 in the back, but make them a little bit smaller because they are further away. So our turtle is swimming in the ocean. Now we're going to start adding some background details. So I'm going to draw a rock and some seaweed with some curvy lines. You don't have to make your background look exactly like mine. I'm just giving you some ideas of things you could draw. Notice how I picked up my pencil around the fin of the turtle, or the foot, where the seaweed and the rocks go behind where the turtle's swimming. I'm going to add a starfish. And now I'm going to add some details by drawing a polka dot pattern on the turtle's shell. I love polka dots, but if you want to do a different pattern, maybe stars or a hexagon pattern or stripes, you can add any pattern that you want. Now we have our drawing. We're going to trace over our pencil lines with black permanent marker or Sharpie. And this will just make all of the lines and shapes really pop and stand out in the final stage of our piece. Notice how I am starting on the left side of my paper because I'm right-handed. So as my hand sweeps across the page to trace with my marker, my hand is not going to smear the marker across the page. If you're left-handed, you might want to start on the right side. I'm going over all of the lines like my marker is on a train track, the pencil lines are my train track, and the black marker is my train, staying on all the tracks. Now that your turtle and seascape are outlined in black marker, you can start painting. Try to keep your water cup and your paints close together so that you are not dripping across the table as you paint. I'm going to activate the temper cakes by getting them wet. Say, wake up, paint. And then I'm going to start by painting my ocean background. As I paint, it's kind of like I'm tracing, like if I were coloring and trying to stay inside the lines. I'm going to trace around the shapes first that I'm painting around and then fill in the larger spaces after I've traced my outline in paint. I'm going to continue to get more paint and more water so that I can keep my color bright and vibrant. We want our paintings to be bright and colorful since these are our Art to Remember projects. I'm going to get a skinnier brush to go around this starfish shape just so that I can make sure I stay in the lines and don't cross over my marker lines as I'm painting. I'll continue to paint around the border and fill in all the space. Now to switch colors, I'm going to gently bounce my paintbrush on the bottom of the cup, tap the water off the edge, and I'm going to switch to black paint to paint the rocks. I'm going to just get a little bit of paint and then add some more water so that I'm actually making a gray. The more water you add to the paint, the lighter the color. So if I want my black to be lighter, then I'll add more water to make it more gray, like a rock. Again, I'm going to bounce the paintbrush in the water and tap off the extra water, and I'm going to activate the green paint by getting the temper cake wet. And now I'm going to paint the green seaweed. I'm still painting around the edges first and filling in the middle after I've created my border. If your yellow and orange temper cake is starting to get a little bit messy like mine, you can get a wipe and just start to wipe off, or if you're using a tissue, you might need to get it wet. Wipe off the darker paint that may have gotten splattered on top of your yellow. That's why it's really important to rinse our brush before we switch colors. I'm going to do the same thing with the orange paint. If your timber cakes are really dirty, you might even want to try a baby wipe. Now that our yellow and orange are nice and clean, we can switch to those colors when we're ready. I'm going to finish painting my turtle's face green. Make sure you don't paint the turtle's white of the eye with green. That might look a little bit silly. Unless you want him to have green eyes, then you can choose to do that. I'm going to choose lots of different colors for the turtle. You can choose any colors you would like. If you want a purple turtle, that's fine. If you want to have a pink turtle, you can choose whatever colors you would like. Once again, I'm outlining the border around my black lines as I paint, and then I'll go back and fill in the space with more paint. And once you've finished painting your turtle's seascape, make sure you write your name and 2020 so your family knows the artist and when you painted it.